Now, 13 ABC Action Sports with BCSN. Here's Joe Nugent.
There is something about Notre Dame that pulls you back in, and that happened to a former captain of the basketball team that also played high school ball at St. John's Jesuit.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Purcell Pavilion for tonight's college basketball game between the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. I am Jack Nolan, joined once again by former Irish captain Zach Hillisland.
As a Toledo native, Zach always had a fascination with the media. He once blogged for the New York Times, and now he's perfecting a different craft with a microphone.
This kind of opportunity doesn't come along just every day, so when that kind of fell in my lap, I looked at it as a blessing and took advantage of it, and now going on year 3, it feels like just normal part of life now.
Second half of play. That's the first foul called this half on Wake Forest. Hub with the basketball now. Hub throws it underneath to a cutting Mooney for the two-handed jam. He has great court vision, and that gives Notre Dame a 3-point lead.
I mean, that was an incredible. Was that a one-handed, right-handed pass from Hub behind the back of the defender? That was one of his best passes of the year.
In a relatively new role as the color analyst on Notre Dame's radio network, one that reaches listeners around the world through satellite radio, Zach drives in from Chicago to call the games. And why not, with a front row seat next to Jack Nolan?
I want people to want to listen to us win or lose because you have fun being part of the broadcast. I want every listener to think they're sitting at the table with us and we're just talking about the game. And he is very good at doing that kind of thing.
I was probably talking too much to start out. And so he's kind of had to teach me. He's like, look, we're on the radio, we're painting pictures here. You can't just talk over the play all the time. So it's been a nice balancing act, but he certainly brought me along each year.
Ahead to Gibbs, who goes in and dunks it.
There is an art to this. To be interesting and natural takes a tremendous amount of work. They make it look easy.
The thing that I have the most fun is maybe trying to tap into the emotion of a certain player, especially if it's a Notre Dame kid that I kind of know and I see him maybe flex on a play, or I see him turn to the bench and start talking a little trash.
That's a really good pass there from Hub, and then he turns to the Wake Forest bench and lets them know how good of a pass it was. I love Prentice. He's always talking smack to somebody.
I like to provide those kind of details because those are the things that you wouldn't always see as someone maybe who didn't have a familiarity with the team.
Go back 15 years. Zach's time at St. John's Jesuit with Ed Heinchel was very influential, and it's a foundation he works from today.
Tipped up, no good. Rebound is battled for, and Harvey tying up, and nobody will give up the ball, even though the whistles blown.
This is ridiculous, first of all. I don't know what Brown is doing. He just completely exacerbated the situation.
He's not shy, not even close. Back at it Wednesday night, Notre Dame at home against Clemson.
Now, here's Joe Nugent.
After a month of decisive victories, it is finally time for a test. Number 8 Wisconsin at the Big House. Remember, they were just up the road a week ago. Wolverines at the 1. Coach Harbaugh playing downhill, as in Khalid Hill. The hammer puts it in the end zone at 7-0. Third quarter, same score with Genoa's Michael Dieter on the Badgers offensive line. Alex Hornibrook to Dare Ogunbowale. We're tied at 7. This some old school Big Ten ball. Fourth quarter, Wolverines near midfield. Wilton Spate deep to Amara Darboh. Perfect toss, 46-yard touchdown. Michigan leads again. Badgers last chance with a couple minutes to go. Jordan Lewis, check it out. One hand pick. Michigan wins 14-7. Ohio State off a bye hosting Rutgers. Homecoming, and Earl Bruce dots the I. Only the second Buckeye coach to do it. The other, Woody Hayes. J.T. Barrett throwing himself into the middle of the Heisman debate. An 18-yard touchdown to Dontre Wilson. Then in the second quarter, a beautiful pass to Terry McLaurin, former Mr. Football in Indiana. J.T. very, very accurate, 21-29. All Bucks in this game, 58-0. And the defense razor sharp against former coordinator Chris Ash. Now the boss at Rutgers, Steve Slivka at the shoe.
J.T. Barrett is still might be a tough one to pass.
Wow, what a story from Urban. Bowling Green looking for a fresh start, the non-conference in the rear view mirror. Time to get into the MAC. BG hosting Eastern Michigan at the Doit. Also homecoming, Brogan Rowe back out of St. John's Jesuit. A nice game, throwing a couple touchdowns. However, Brogan did not start. That's Todd Porter, intercepted by Trenton Green. Falcons turned that into 7 points. Donovan Wilson grabs his first touchdown pass, this on a 4th and goal. However, Eastern counters, outscoring BG 21-3 through the middle part of the game. Falcons playing from behind, and they do not catch them. It's a 28-25 final, and Bowling Green falls to 1-4. That the man that led BG a year ago, Dino Babers, gets a taste of Notre Dame. A week of turmoil for the Irish, including a new defensive coordinator. Did not help against Dino's offense, but the Irish glad to have Deshaun Kaiser. The Central Catholic alum throws for a career-best 471 yards, including 3 touchdown passes, but still a 6-point game. Here in the third, this puts it away, and Notre Dame wins 50-33. Other action from around the area wins for Tiffin, Defiance, Heidelberg, and Adrian. A loss, though, for Ohio Northern. A tough one for the Rockets, and this happened early this morning at BYU. Game ended about 2 o'clock. Logan Woodside breaks Bruce Gradkowski's single-game passing record with 505 yards. This Cody Thompson TD moves UT in front 45-42 in the fourth quarter. A minute 20 to go. Down 7, Kareem Hunt pounds his way in. 146 yards for Kareem with a struggling defense. Coach Candle is going for 2. The snap, though, comes before Woodside expects it. Picks it off the ground, but still finds Michael Roberts for the conversion. Never seen it before. It works, and Toledo up 53-52. But too much time. The Cougars hit a chip shot as time expires for a 55-53 final. For Toledo to pull off that 2-point conversion and lose is a tough one to accept.
A lot of fight in that team, though.
Yes, and they've been playing great all year, so certainly looking forward to the rest of the season here for the Rockets.
Joe, thanks. Take a break, back in a minute.
You can always find stories within the game. Our own Joe Nugent found one from last night's Game 6. He's live in Cleveland with the story of a guy from our area who caught a home run ball last night, Joe?
For so many fathers and sons, bonding and baseball go hand in hand. I want to introduce you to Tiffin's Matt Coleman, 15-year season ticket holder here. Front row of the bleachers, he comes with his dad to as many games as possible. They sit in the handicap section because Matt's father lost his leg in Vietnam. He's a decorated war veteran, but they were here last night at Game 6, and when Jason Kipnis hit that home run to left, Matt grabbed the ball and at that moment decided to give it to his father.
Just a whole lot of emotion. You know, first off, just being at a World Series game, first time ever with my father, who's means a lot to me, and we've been season ticket holders for 15 years, and it's Jason Kipnis, one of my favorite players, and obviously I have three children, and my youngest one, Tucker, that's his favorite player, so it was just an exciting moment.
Then you decided to give the ball to your dad, or he will get it tomorrow or the next day?
Well, I did give it to him. I've kind of changed my mindset with that. I have a buddy who actually works in the front office with the Indians, and he's overseas right now. He's in his 3rd tour of duty. He's with the National Guard, and I'd really, if he would accept it, I'd like to give it to him because in honor of my dad. Because I think, you know, people that are in the Armed Forces, National Guard, they do so much for us, and I think it'd be neat if Brent Cartwright, if I could give this ball to him, because he can't be here at the World Series.
Because we literally don't know where Brent is in the world, Matt hopes to get a hold of him here in the next few days and hopes also that he'll accept his gift of baseball from Game 6 in the World Series. No longer is the 18th here at Highland Meadows a straightforward par 5. The fairway has been reconstructed. The landing zone is now protected with bunkers on each side. So this drive has to be accurate, and to have any chance at reaching the green in 2, you have to pound this shot. If the drive lands safely in the fairway, this is where it gets fun. We're about 210 yards away from the green, which means you can reach it in 2, but that play comes with a ton of risk. If you look at it, there isn't much to aim at. Those deep bunkers in front, there's a runoff area in the back. Most pros will probably play it to the right, which is what we'll do, about 210 yards. With this choice just off the edge of the green, it's a chip and a putt for birdie. That's the safe play, and it's the only play if the pin, which right now is in the middle of the green, is moved any more over here toward the bunkers, because there is a huge slope right here. And if you find yourself short in one of these bunkers, which by the way are among the deepest on the course, trying to get out of here and stop a ball on this side of the green is almost impossible. That ball landed in the rough, and look at it over here. It's on this side of the green. Say you're fortunate enough to avoid the bunkers, and you land the ball on the green. It's tough to stop it on this one. It's firmer than the other 17 because it's brand new. You come in here and you overshoot it just a little bit, the ball's not gonna stop in the rough on the edge. No, there's a runoff area, and now you find yourself 15 yards from the pin. This is gonna be fun, it's gonna be a challenge, and it's gonna be a great week out here at Highland Meadows.